Welcome to a Stomp and Creep special with DJ CJ on Country Radio Switzerland. And this is Tony Calling. Yeah, that's a great song. That's Heaven Center Radio. And And that's by Mr. Tony Carling, who's my guest today. And if you think that sounded a bit like Bruce Springsteen, well, it was meant to, because Tony actually wrote that song and performed that song after reading Springsteen's biography. So there you go. So Tony Carling is a man who's lived the long road of country music from this side of the Atlantic and deep into Nashville itself. Tony Carling is a London-born singer-songwriter and guitarist, now based between the UK and Normandy in France. He's spent decades writing, recording, co-writing in Nashville and building up a body of work that blends country rock, blues and rock and roll, and with a catalogue that now includes The River Road, his 10th album. Tony's got the songs, the miles, and I suspect more than a few stories. Tony, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Chris.
How
Good
you
to be
doing?
on. Thanks for inviting me on.
So, Tony, what kicked off the whole Nashville thing? How did it all start for you?
Well, I think I was kind of desperate to get into more songwriting and more co-writing. And I'd seen a program on the TV that on the Bluebird Cafe, and you could turn up on a Monday evening.
Yeah.
And sing your song at the Bluebird in Nashville. And I thought, this is back in the day when there were no open mics, and I thought, yes, that's what I want to do. Anyway, I did a festival, a country festival, with a band that were headlining called Pinto Bennett and the famous Motel Cowboys. And we came off stage, and then Pinto literally picked me up and kissed me on the lips and said, "I love you guys." And we laughed, and I was chatting to the rest of the band. And then one of the guitarists said to me, "Well, Pinto never actually saw you play.
Right.
He was in a tent in a field auditioning a backing singer." And so I went back to Pinto and I said to him, "Hey, mate, apparently you didn't see the band." And he leant over and he said, "No, but I could hear you over her."
Great stuff.
Anyway, long story short, I bought the ticket to Nashville.
Yeah.
I booked into Shoney's Inn on Demonbreun, opposite Hank Williams' old shack, which isn't there anymore.
Yeah, lovely.
And Crazy Eddie turned up at 2:00 in the morning, who was a friend of Pinto Bennett's, and said, "You can come and stay with me."
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that was that. I stayed with Crazy Eddie. The phone went, and I answered the phone, and this voice said, "Who's that?" And I said, "It's Tony. I'm a friend of Pinto Bennett's." And he said, "You're staying with Crazy Eddie?" And I said, "Yes," to this voice. He said, "You want to come and stay with us?" And I said, "Yes."
Brilliant.
So I met Corky and Patty Hawley, and they gave me the key to their house.
So you actually stayed in their house?
I did, yeah. They gave me the front door key, and like for the next 20 odd years, I was backwards and forwards to Nashville, and yeah, that was my home.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Tony, you've got a great body of work, and you're going to play some of your music. You're going to pick some of your music for us today.
Yeah.
Do you want to choose one of your songs? What would be your first?
I think it'd probably have to be off the Tootsies album. Tootsies is a honky tonk on Lower Broadway.
Yeah.
And I used that as my front cover. So that was kind of, an iconic moment. So I think, I Can't Put My Guitar Down would probably be a fun intro into this.
Right. So this is I Can't Put My Guitar Down.
Yeah.
Well, my baby called me up, said, "Why don't you put the guitar down?" She said, "I feel red hot, boy, I'm just the other side of town. Bring a bottle of wine, some coke would be fine, man, maybe we can fool around." She said, "I wanna make love, boy, put the guitar down." Sit down, I can't put my guitar down. Well, I got myself a gig in a stone cold country sound. taxi cab, all your sweet ass overhead. And I can lay on my back, and if you like it like that, I can play you while you wriggle around. Yeah, I wanna make love, but I can't put my guitar down. Well, I sat down, can't put my guitar down. Yeah, I got myself a gig in a stone cold country sound. I'm gonna get the thing right if it takes me all night, 'cause I ain't fooling around. Yeah, I wanna make love, but I can't put my guitar down. Hee-haw. Hell, I sat down, I can't put my guitar down. And I got myself a gig in a stone cold country sound. I'm gonna get the thing right if it takes me all night, 'cause I ain't fooling around. Yeah, I wanna make love, but I can't put my guitar. Wanna make love, but I can't put my guitar. Wanna make love, but I can't put my guitar down.
Yeah, can't put my guitar down. That's great stuff. Now, Tony, your site mentions more than 25 years of co-writing in Nashville. What did Nashville teach you that Europe never could?
Well, I think it's just that whole co-writing environment that happens there. You know, it was something I wasn't used to being in London, and I just embraced it, really. I just love the fact that you start with a blank sheet of paper at 10 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully by 1 o'clock, you've got a song, you know, that's coming together. And I think you either love that or you hate it, you know, because sometimes it can be like pulling teeth. But I think basically, if you're a professional and you turn up, you know, you're not drunk, you're not stoned, you've got some ideas, and the other person does that too, then hopefully you can find something to write.
You've got a chance. You've got a
Yeah,
chance.
I mean, it was a funny thing because there's a railway carriage on 21st and Blair that was drug up from the railway station in 1927. Somebody cut a hole in the side of it and started selling burgers. And it's a famous little place if you know about it. It's called Brown's Diner. Anyway, I was in there and they got the old jukebox and the conduit lighting and all the claddings, all original. And when you look over the bar, you can see the lino floor with all the bottle tops squashed into it like a work of art. And I was in there, I was chatting to a guy called John Robin, who had he wrote You Had to Be There for Laurie Morgan. He wrote Summer in Dixie for a Confederate Railroad, and he wrote Breathe for Chris Cagle. That was 6 weeks at #1. Anyway, I was chatting. We were talking. I was playing engine number 9 on the jukebox, Roger Miller.
Of course, yeah.
And, we said, "Oh, wouldn't it be great, you know, to write a Roger Miller song?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." So I got together with John, and then we wrote that song, and we continued because we got on so well to co-write. And I remember I was around his house. And the other thing about John was he had a loud and acoustic, and I was really after one at the time. I thought, you know, I'm going to get one of those. Anyway,
Is that the metal one?
No, it's Northern Ireland, George Loudon.
Oh right, okay. No, what am I confusing it with? What's the old metal guitar that a lot of the country guys and the rockabilly guys play?
Oh,
Oh, it's a national. Is it a national?
a National,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm confusing it with that. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
carry on. Continue.
But anyway, John had one of those guitars, and we did the dance. What have you got? He'll play something, and then what have you got? And I'll play something. Well, and there's nothing really lifting my skirt, and that's the way it went. And I said there must be something. Right. What else have you got? Have you got a title or anything? And he said, well, Undeniable. I said, oh, that's brilliant. Let's write that. So he picked his guitar up and started playing a kind of country sort of rhythm, if you like. I said, hold on a minute. No. This is not going to be a straight country song. This is going to be Aerosmith meets U2 stadium ballad. I think this is how we should approach this. Undeniable, unbelievable. Well, that's the way you make me feel. And that's what I was thinking, And anyway, that's what we did, and that's what ended up on the Love Junkie album.
There in the smallest of moments, a feeling that's never unnoticed, a knowing look, an understanding touch. It's without even trying, whether we're laughing or crying, a love so strong between the two of us. Undeniable, unbelievable. Well, that's the way you make me feel. It's incredible, so beautiful. Well, you're the only one who's ever let me see love could be undeniable. It's the light that's in our eyes, in the smile we can't disguise, the mystery we share when two hearts fall. Like a habit we breathe in, an addiction we needed. Life without this love ain't worth living at all. Undeniable, unbelievable. And that's the way you make me feel. It's incredible, so you're the only one who's ever let me see love could be. Wild as a hurricane, gentle as a summer rain. Well, it's a force we can't explain. It's our love. See, love could be undeniable.
So that was Undeniable by Tony Collin. That is such a good piece of work. It has it feels like a a craftsman has recorded it. You know, it feels like a 100% real. It's got substance.
Good. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do. I think that's what going to Nashville is about, is about learning the craft. And certainly for me, you know, I got to the point where I was thinking, you know, the obvious questions, if I wanted to write a country song, or if I wanted to write a gospel song, you know, who could I actually call up? You know, maybe Tom Kimmel if we were going to do gospel, or Chris Crawford if it was going to be country. And I remember there was getting to a point there where, and I was thinking about who I could ask. And then I suddenly thought to myself, well, if I don't know by now, you know, what's going on. So I kind of got to that point where I'd learnt the craft of writing in the Nashville formula, if you like, which is important for, you know, commercialism. But it's, I don't know, there's so many memories of Nashville, you know, going back to the Bluebird Cafe. I mean, obviously I went and played that night, and that was amazing. And then I went and saw Tom Kimmel play, which totally blew my mind. I'd never seen anyone perform or sing like that before. And anyway, a long story short, I'd got to know Tom about 4 years later. I got introduced to him, and he's had some, you know, huge hits, Dolly Parton, some film score stuff. I mean, you've just got to listen to Tom Kimmel because he sings well. He's got an amazing voice. But long story short, I got invited to stay with Tom in the end. And that's when we wrote Butter Side Up, because I dropped my toast on the floor, and I said, butter side up, Tom, that's how it landed. And he said, no, that's how we landed. So we ended up writing Butter Side Up.
That's great.
An all-round a great guy, yeah.
Butter side up, that's how we landed. And now somehow everything is going my way. I was a guy with his glass half empty, 'cause I'd never seen it half full. Been living without in the land of plenty, a pessimist died in the wood. See, I've had my dreams, but they've always seemed to somehow get cut down to size. I never believed love would happen for me. Imagine your baby's surprise. Butter side up, that's how we landed. Hey, now this just might turn out to be a beautiful day. Butter side up, we could never have planned it. And now somehow everything is going my way. Some people say every cloud rolls away, but I never was that much impressed till you came along with your smile and your song. Now how would I ever have guessed? See, I've had my dreams, but they've always seemed to somehow get cut down to size. I never believed love would happen for me. Imagine your baby's surprise. Butter side up, that's how we landed. Hey, now this just might turn out to be a beautiful day. Butter side up, we could never have planned it. And now somehow everything is going my way. And now somehow everything is going my way.
So that was Butter Side Up. That's great stuff. Tony, I think you've got a story for me about Chris Crawford, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, Chris was the guy who actually introduced me to Tom. And Chris was, how can I say, the country is a dirt road, I guess. He lived in Dixon County, about half an hour outside of Nashville. And we got together because we knew the same publisher, which was Joe Talbot, which was the first publisher that I got in touch with when I went into Nashville. And he kind of drop kicked me into the country music world. But Chris said to me once, he said, well, you want to come out and write? And I said, yeah, sure. And I went out to his place in Dixon, thinking that's where we were going to write. And then we jumped into his Bronco. And then we drove to Lynchburg, where they make Jack Daniels, which is a dry county. You can't drink there. You have to go to Alabama if you want to open the bottle.
Wow.
Anyway, so we stayed down there at Chris's granddad's place, and it was kind of timber shack, dirt road, tobacco barn opposite, with a catfish pond beyond that. And we sat out on the deck in the evening with the coyotes howling and the crickets. And we were on these sliders. They're not like rocking chairs. They kind of slide backwards and forwards. And Chris is sitting there with his hands behind his head, chewing his tobacco and spitting in a bottle. And I'm trying to write a Jim Reeves song, "Warm and Tender Love," I think the song was. And Chris is saying like, well, I think we can get a better line than that. And that's the evening. Anyway, long story short, he came out with a couple of fishing rods and a bucket full of chicken livers, I think they were. And we went round to the catfish pond and started fishing. Anyway, these catfish were loving it, and I'd caught a few. And then Chris pulled out his gun and started shooting because he'd caught a snapping turtle, and they bite the fish, obviously. So only way to deal with them, he said, I'm in the middle of nowhere with this guy I've just met who's got a gun now.
And the snapping turtles. I've never heard that. What?
They're like turtles with teeth. I mean, it was vicious.
Jesus, yeah.
Well. So, yeah, we ended up eating the catfish with some grits and molasses, and it was a real southern evening. Stayed the night, and we were going to go back to Dixon in the morning. So we get back in the Bronco, and we're writing another song called "Lonely's Never Been So Much Fun." That's on the Tootsies album. And I remember Chris was sitting there in the driver's seat, and he had the Coke bottle between his legs, as he does, and he's chewing still. And I'm sitting next to him, and I looked and I said, I'm looking for a line for this song, and I said, what about like the flowers need the sun? Lonely's never been so much fun. And he looked at me and he spat in the bottle and he said, I promise you that line will never leave this truck.
Brilliant.
And we drove back to Dixon. And we've been mates ever since. That was like 30 years ago.
And did that ever become a song?
It is, yeah. The song's there. That line's not in it.
Right. And the song is called
Lonely's Never Been So Much Fun.
Okay. Shall we play
on the Tootsies album? Yeah.
Shall we play that?
You could do, yeah. Give it a spin.
All right.
You said I'd be so lonely when we finally called it quits. But I find as time goes by, the better it gets. Now I get the feeling that my life has just begun. Oh, lonely's never been so much fun. This should be lonesome, but I ain't got the time. Now I've tasted freedom, well, I'm a rebel on the run. Oh, no, there's never been so much fun. Oh, I said, no, there's never been so much fun.
So, Tony, tell me a little bit about the practical process, the way that you record in Nashville, and if it's any way different from recording in Europe, for example.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different process for me. And when I first started recording in Nashville, we were recording some demos, and then I said to Chris, was engineering it and producing it. I said we could do an album here, and he pulled the musicians together, and we did the Tootsies album, which was quite daunting, really, because I'd had all these great singers that were singing demos for me. Now they were doing backing vocals.
Wow.
And I remember once we were standing there ready to kick off, and I'm standing in the foyer, and I was thinking we were going to do something around a mic, with some brushes and Grand Ole Opry style. This is what I had in my head. And then this shadow came across the front doors and the glass windows of the studio and darkened it down. And this truck pulls up outside, and I'm standing next to this guy who's built like a brick shithouse. And Mel, his name was, and he said, "Oh, hi, I'm the drummer." And I said, "Where's your drum kit in?" Thinking it'd be in the boot of his car. And he said, "Well, it's just arrived." and he built himself into this drum kit, with this sort of put in. And turns out it's like a heavy rock drummer. But that was that album. And Steve Thomas, who owned the studio, did all the guitar work on it, and who's sadly not with us anymore. Beautiful guy. But I can remember Steve saying to me when I was doing the vocals, he'd put his finger on the button from his room, and he would look in, and he said over the mic, "Don't make me come in there."
Brilliant.
So, but that was recording the Tootsies album. And then, of course, a few years later, I was still in touch with Robbie, the guitarist from the famous Motel Cowboys, and we became good friends. And then Robbie said to me, "Tony, if you want to bring some songs, to Nashville, I'll put the best band in the world together for you." So that was an opportunity I couldn't miss. So I turned up at County Q Studios, and I'm looking at all the snares. They've probably got about 7 or 8 snares on this shelf, thinking what we're going to use on Undeniable. Oh, that should be a 6.5-inch Coliseum, John Bonham, We'll use the piccolo for this track. And the guy taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he introduced himself, Pete Abbott, 5 years at Average White Band. He's the drummer.
Brilliant.
What am I worrying about? This guy's forgotten more than I'll ever remember. But so that's how that album kicked off. We had George Marinelli, who's Bonnie Raitt's guitarist and musical director. He was on guitar. He was like the Keith Richards of Nashville. He had those 70s glasses. The Easy Rider. And a mint julep in his hand and a guitar over his shoulder. And because he was doing it, we actually were blessed to get Mike Rhodes on bass, which, probably the best bass player, I'd say, ever I've heard. I mean, what a guy. But the crew came together, and we ended up. What was great about it is like I'm so far down the line. I'm not precious about the songs. And when you're faced with that caliber of musicians, there's this tendency. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a big leap of faith and just let them do what they want to do.
Yeah, let them do.
So I said to the guys, this is not country radio. You don't have to do the normal thing that you're doing. You can play what you want, express yourself. These are the songs. Let's see what you've got, basically. So that's what we did on the Love Junkie album. And if you listen to it, you'll hear that. I mean, it's some great moments on there.
It was interesting what you said about Albert Lee, because this is a complete coincidence. He's actually playing in Malmo, where I live. I think in a couple of weeks.
Right. And
And
it's still going then?
yeah, he's playing.
I remember, I opened for him down in
Yeah.
Bristol, years ago. And
Yeah.
I think we did another gig, might have been the 100 Club in London or something like that. But great band.
He
Yeah.
must be getting on now, though. Sure.
He must
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's on his own. It just says Albert Lee. I'll check that out. Actually, it's probably worth going to. Yeah, that's great. And
So a song you
Yeah.
could play off the Love Junkie album would probably be a good one. Would be Fire Up My Dreams. I think would be good.
I don't know exactly what it is about you, girl, that makes me smile like a child. But all you have to do, it seems, is cock your head and look me in the eye, kiss my heart goodbye. You fire up my dreams, make the sunshine on everything. You fill my heart with love, like the whole world's just spinning round us. With you I'm free. Oh, you fire up my dreams. I wouldn't like to guess just what our plans are gonna be. We never know. Go with the flow. Where that feeling takes us, there won't be a better place that we can go. Baby, don't I know? You fire up my dreams, make the sunshine on everything. You fill my heart with love, like the whole world's just spinning round us. With you I'm free. Oh baby, you fire up my dreams. From the deepest cut to every tender touch, through all the times we've laughed and cried. Without you there just ain't no life. Oh. You fire up my dreams, make the sunshine on everything. You fill my heart with love, like the whole world's just spinning round us. You fire up my dreams, make the sunshine on everything. You fill my heart with love, like the whole world's just spinning round us. With you I'm free. Oh baby, you fire up my dream. Don't know what it is about you, girl, but when you look at me and cock your head, you always make me smile.
right, Tony, I think you wanted to tell me another of your little stories.
Yes, about the Love Junkie era, I should
Yes.
say. It was a funny thing. Yeah, we recorded the album, of course, and it was amazing. We had actually, I was thinking about the backing singers there, and we had Tom Flora fly from Austin, Texas. He
Yeah.
was George Strait's backing singer at the time, and he flew in to do the session, and that was great because I gave him the same spiel. I said, look, it doesn't have to be country. You could be angst. You can, have some fun, Tom. And he said, I could do you a Dylan-esque third. And he was a great character. So it was like a masterclass in backing vocals.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there listening to the finished product on the big Mackies, and then he came over and he said, you did a great job on them vocals. And I said, well, I consider myself more of a writer than a singer. And he leaned in and he said, well, you might want to think again.
Oh, nice.
Bless him. But yeah, I was ringing round, trying to get some interest for that album. And I rang this guy up, and he said, I'm too busy doing my own project. And I said, oh, that's right. Just before that, about a year before that, I was driving through Wandsworth in my car, and I heard this country song come on the radio. And the country song was There Is No Arizona by Jamie O'Neill. Okay.
And you were in Wandsworth at the time.
In Wandsworth. And I pulled the car over to the side of the road, and I sat there thinking, wow, that's really cool, Anyway, zoom back to ringing this guy on the phone there, trying to get some interest. And we were chatting away, and he said he was wrapped up, in his daughter's thing, and he wasn't interested in pushing a new CD or whatever. And he said, you should get the Who's Who of country music. It's a magazine. And I said, well, Jimmy, I can't because I'm not in the business. But I said, I'm sure you've got one, haven't you? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm sure if I bought you breakfast at the Pancake Pantry in Hillsborough Village tomorrow morning, you'd bring it along, wouldn't you?
That's a good price, a good price.
And he said, yeah. And I said, what do you look like? He said, I look like an old Buddy Holly. So I met Jimmy Murphy for breakfast, and we were chatting away about how he used to play bass 30 years ago, and and his daughter was singing George Benson songs in the back of his car. And as we were talking, it suddenly hit me. I said to him, you're Jamie O'Neill's dad, aren't you, who sang There Is No Arizona in Wandsworth? And he said, yeah.
What a coincidence.
I know. I said, what about the name? Your name's Murphy and she's O'Neill. Oh, she took my first wife's name, and that's how that came about. But then he gave me tickets to their show downtown that night. It was all the free booze and the free, free food. And there I was standing in front of Jamie O'Neill singing There Is No Arizona with her, Fantastic. What a night that was.
These things all come together. It's a small world, isn't it? It really is.
Well, I think, I'm a great believer if you put yourself out there, something's going to happen, And lots of people have opportunities, but they don't recognize them.
No.
And I think that's what I've learned about Nashville is, if there's an opportunity, then take it.
It sounds like you've grasped your opportunities whenever you've got the chance.
I do.
And you've gone through it, which is great. Because like you say, a lot of people don't do that. They don't do that.
What have you got to lose? I mean, really.
Exactly. Oh, that's fantastic. Tony, you're going to finish off with something rather special for us, aren't you? How are you going to finish off today's show?
Well, I think, I'm going to play this song that I mentioned, Pinto Bennett and the famous Motel Cowboys, which kicked this whole journey off. And Pinto used to come and stay at my house back in the day when he was doing the Mervyn Conn, Wembley music thing. I did that with them one year. It was amazing. Anyway, long story short, we were in the garden, my garden, writing a song, and then we had a bottle of Lagavulin whiskey.
Oh, nice.
And we drank a fair bit of it, and then we lost the bottle.
You lost the bottle?
We lost it, and it was never found. Even the next day, I had no idea what happened to it, but I remembered the song, and I thought, do you know what? It'd be fun just to do a live thing of the song we wrote, and it's called "Put Love on My Tab Tonight."
Brilliant.
And it goes like this.
Here we go then. Sitting in my favorite little honky-tonk downtown. It's where I come when the work gets done to drink and just hang out. But tonight is something different to that Monday no routine. She's on the bar stool next to me, hitting me with a grin. Oh yes, I've ordered up some cold ones just to break the ice. We both remember Woodstock, man, we've been putting the world to rights. And along with the nachos and her couple Miller Lights. Oh Lord, won't you please add love to my tab? Put more than I
on my tab tonight. Well, yes, I know there's something worth a damn. It don't come for free. Man, no one's played love's waiting game much longer than me. But tonight that misty melancholy haze has disappeared. I'm on the bar stool next to her, grinning from ear to ear. Oh, yes, I've ordered up some cold ones just to break the ice. We both remember Woodstock, man. We've been putting the world to rights. And along with the nachos, yeah, and her couple Miller Lights. Oh, Lord, won't you please add love to my tab? Putting more than I've had on my tab tonight. Now, I don't have to guess the way she's feeling. I do believe that she can read my mind. And when I can climb down from this ceiling, yeah, we'll leave this little honky-tonk behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, I've ordered up some cold ones just to break the ice. We both remember Woodstock, man. We've been putting the world to rights. And along with the nachos, hey, and her couple Miller Lights. Oh, Lord, won't you please add love to my tab? Putting more than I've had on my tab tonight. Thank you, Chris. Woo! Yeah!
Oh my goodness, that's how you finish a show. Put Love on My Tab Tonight, live from Tony Calling. Recorded that especially for us on Stomp and Creep. And a huge thanks to Tony. Great stories, great songs, and a real taste of Nashville life. This has been Nashville Stories, to cut a long story short, on Stomp and Creep, here on Country Radio Switzerland, which is country music and so much more. I'm DJ CJ. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you down the road. Ta-ra!